Okay, so we're live. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria. I'm a host here on this immersion. I'm going to introduce myself first. I've been living in Florianopolis for 2 years now. And as it for work, I have my own business. I have a broker insurance company. And I brought the topic tonight, the art of active listening, because I'm preparing a training for my commercial team to make consultant sales. So we have to really learn what the other people is saying right now. So let's go introducing the other guys. Camila, please.
Hi guys, I'm Camila. I am living in Aracaju, Sergipe. I am 32 years old. I am a design and I work for as a outsource company. In my free time, I like to watch some series and movies. And sometimes I like to go out and walk because I really like to walk for the city. And that's it about me.
Thank you, Camila. Brenner, how about you?
Hello guys, hello YouTube. I'm Brenna. I am 27. I'm from Rio. I lived here basically my entire life, so I work as a software developer. And in my free time, I enjoy practicing physical activities, sports, and reading also. That's it.
Thank you, Brenner. Tiago,
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm based in Hortolândia, near Campinas, São Paulo. Nowadays, I'm a senior architect in a company IT. Um, I have two children, one boy, one girl, one dog, and I'm happy to be here.
thank you, Tiago. Thank you very much. So, guys, let's begin answering the questions. Number two, because number one, we already introduced ourselves. Brenner, what does active listening mean to you?
When talking to someone, being present at the moment, not doing another thing like uh seeing your cell phone or paying attention to another thing. Being there, listening what the other is saying to you, and uh participating in the conversation. It's important too.
Amazing. That's it. Camila, do you agree with Brenner? Want to add something?
Yes, I guess it's important to know the most important of active listening. It's not the people not waiting to speak, because sometimes we talk with some people and the people don't hear you. So I guess when I talk and I know the people we really listen me, I felt more comfortable in this type of conversation because it's so disappointing when I talk and I say that people don't listen. So I guess it's really important. I really appreciate that when it happens, but it's so hard in small talks, for example.
That's it. Tiago, and you, what's your opinion about this?
I agree with both you guys. In addition, I think active listening is not only being present or listening to someone, but understand that the people that the other people said. Um, I I I I know I know about some people that practice this active listening. uh, exists someone people that can be doing any tasks and in the same time the people this person capture that the other people said. I think that have some people that listen without smartphone or other things that can take the present in this conversation, but don't understand that the exact moment or exact uh, subject or topic that the people that that the other people said. I think that active listening is necessary to understand that and correspondence that the other people said.
Great, great. So, Camila, you brought a very important point that it's very uncomfortable when we're talking and we realize that people they're not paying attention on our words, on our what our message is. So, is there something, anything you do when you realize that the person you're talking to is not paying attention? Do you do something to make the conversation flow, or you just be quiet? What do you do in those situations?
I try to end the conversation because I felt very, oh, it's no make no sense that these people don't hear me, so I don't need to do that. So in the most part, I try to end the conversation and say, oh, okay, and I gotta go, this type of things. But sometimes with my leader, it's sad. Sometimes it's happening, but I try to talk in no, another moment again about the same them. So I use this type of things in my life when this happening and happen a lot in my routine.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Tiago, what about you? What do you do when you're not feeling listened? You're not feeling that you've been heard?
Well, if I don't, the other people don't listen or don't earn. Some people use uh, the actions to give attention, uh, but I don't use this. Uh, I think I repeat and I call to to the other people to attend me and explain. Sometimes I use the technique that I ask if that I said the other people understand that I I talk and and sometimes that if you don't if these people uh, don't have a listen they ask to repeat and I repeat again.
That's a good strategy because we can caught everyone in the mistake in those situations because there's no one left to run when those things happen. So I like that one strategy sometimes because it makes the other person uncomfortable. But the person made me uncomfortable first by not paying attention. So it's nice to give back the the person a little uncomfortable. That's very nice. Thank you. Brenner, what are your strategies? What do you do?
I just don't insist, you know. Recently, I realized that some topics of my interest are not the same of people around me, you know. And when I try to keep a conversation about these topics, the conversation never flows. So I just decided to give up, you know. I don't try anymore to talk about things that I know uh people won't pay attention or won't listen, so I just don't insist. That's it.
Guys, in my experience, in my personal life, it doesn't happen very often. But when it happens, depends a lot if I'm also very interested to continue the conversation. So I really try to keep going and involve the person. But when it comes to work, for example, or even here in Talk and Talk, it happens more often than I would like. When somebody is not paying attention to what it's being said, I try to involve more the person in the conversation. For example, Brenner. If Brenner wasn't paying much attention, I would comment about something that he said and try to bring him up to the conversation again. And as in a training, for example, I have a team to train next week. So when those things happen, because training can be so long and can be exhausting at work, I try always to the strategies that I use here also, but I try to call the person and say, "Oh, Camila, what did you understand by that we just said?" It's kind of boring when we are the person who's called attention, but it's important to try to make the people participate in the meeting, make sure that everybody is up to date and everybody's understanding the message that is being passed. Because, for example, I prepared the training and it's taken a lot of my time to do that. So it's important for me to keep everybody in the same page. So I try a little some strategies to make that happen. And I'm feeling pretty confident about the results because it has been changing a lot the way people really participate. So it's been nice to see the evolution of this. Let's see another question,
Can I
guys.
can I add a
Yeah,
comment?
sure.
I think this is it happens fine when we talk about work or a professional relation, you know, like he is kind of professional relation, we are studying here, etc. But when it comes to hobby or common conversation, I don't know if it works, you know, like keep
Yeah,
calling the attention of
it's
the
not worth
other,
it,
you
I
know.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of boring and disappointing that you should be working so hard to the other person to pay attention in you. So you're really trying to get the other person attention. It's it doesn't feel right to be talking to someone like that. Doesn't matter if it's someone we just met in a small talk or even someone in our family or our long-term friends, because it can happen. We are the ones also in other moments that we don't pay attention because of several motives and reasons, but it happens. Mm, so let's go to number 5, Brenner. How do you show someone that you're really listening to them, really paying attention?
I have a good strategy that is making questions all the time about the topic the people you're are talking about. Like if they are talking about that day and things that happened, I keep, you know, incentivating, making questions, participating of the conversation. So I show them that I am involved and in the talking, you know. So that's my strategy.
That's a nice strategy, even when we're talking with someone we don't know, we just met, because it keeps the person talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good. Thiago, and you, what do you do?
In these moments, I I use it to ask for about that the people was saying, and sometimes I ask. I don't. I think it's not ask, but I repeat that I understand, and I ask if it is correct that my understood.
Great. That's other great strategy of communication when you want the person to generate connection between you and the other person. When somebody said something and you just repeat the same thing, but in other words, you don't have to quote the person, but you just repeat the same thing in other words. So the person realized that you're really paying attention because, yeah, you understood the message. And it's very good. Camila, what about you?
I guess I try to, like Bruna said, ask something in the middle of the conversation. And in the end of conversation, I try to share my point of view. It's more common with my friend to do. I did that, and I guess it's important. And sometimes I really like when I talk with a person and I forgot something, and the people say, "Oh, you talk about that." So I guess it's so important, and it's most powerful part of active listen. It's remember the second before the people talk about. So for me, it's very hard to remember because when the people said, what talk about it, I forgot the same with the people. But sometimes I'm very interested and know about this story or something, and I could do that, but it's hard because I'm really tired in most part of the weekdays. So for me, it's hard to be focused in a huge conversation. No?
Yeah, it's very funny when that happens because we were just talking 1 second ago and we like it's a blank space in our mind. And it's very nice when the other person really answers, "Oh, you were talking about this, you were telling me about this," because I don't know about you guys, but I get a little happy when that happens because I really know and understand, oh, that person is really paying attention. But on the other hand, like you just said, Camila, there are some times that we're just very tired. We're just very overwhelmed about something, about work, about life, about anything. And it's not for bad. It's not because uh, meant to be disrespectful, but it happens. Sometimes we're talking with other people and we just don't. We're not focused. It happens with everyone, but I guess it's important to try our best to be present, mostly not only in work related conversations, but in our personal relationships, because that's what gives us feel to life, what makes us feel loved, what makes us feel worth it, that other people really care about us, that really like about us, and that they're interested about what we're sharing. Um, let's choose another question, guys. Number 10. So we're talking about work related. Camila, how does active listening impact professional success?
I guess it's so important because an example, when I did some interviews, I listen very actively. The recruiter so important because I could think about some question very with a key point in the conversation. So in this case, I guess it's important for my career because I need to approve by the recruiter. So in this case, it's important. And the second point, if the leader or some manager talk with you, and you could listen very actively and say something very important for the manager, because I guess it's important for the ego for these people because managers like to be um, listening, and
Good
I guess
point.
it's important. Yes, it's about politics in the career. It's a lot about politics.
Yeah, it is. So this interview, was it recent?
And today,
Really?
more
How was
early.
it?
Yes. It's hard because it's a recruit American and they have a very strong accent, was so hard for me. But it's okay. I don't know if I pass, but I guess was a very important because I need to practice more my English in this scenario. So that's it. But it was so hard because I never listened this accent in a real conversation. It's very accent like Texas, this point, because I watch a lot of movies. So it was very hard to understand. And sometimes I said, sorry, can you repeat, please? I have an issue in my internet, but it's the opposite. I don't understand because he talked very fast and very these things. So my friend said this American talk with a potato in the mouth. It makes sense sometimes.
My God. So first of all, congrats for the interview, Camila. That's very, very nice. And do you think you managed to say everything that you wanted? Did you, how was it to really speak only in English to pass your message?
I guess this year it's more easy because I try to talk all day here and talk. But I guess before I take a block in the steps because my English. So now it's the first steps I still going the process. But I guess it's important to do that. But in the first step, I know I really think I don't pass and I pass because I need to explain about screens, these things, and it's so hard to do this. But I guess it's more easier if you have some visual because you try to explain the visual. I guess when you talk, all talk interview, it's more hard. So because that I guess I passed because I study a lot about design, so I could explain in English, but it's hard. But I guess it's better because we need to have a constance in your learn, and I guess the interview is important for to improve that and be more uh, comfortable with talking English because I'm so nervous in interviews. It's hard for me yet.
Interviews, they're hard in general, not only in English, in Portuguese. We also get very anxious and nervous, but it's normal. And I guess one of the most struggling things in getting a job abroad is the technical part, the technical vocabulary about that specific area. Because, okay, I know how to speak English and I can understand you, but to speak technical stuff about designing or about programming or about engineering, it's completely different than just speaking here and sharing our experiences about life. So that's one thing that can be hard in the beginning, but just like anything else, it's practice, and we have to keep practicing, listening, studying. It doesn't stop. Thiago, what about you? How do you think it impacts the professional success?
Well, one time ago, I did a test, not in a professional place, but our relationship in general. I sometimes we listen someone ask for help, or uh, I'm religious, and sometimes someone asks to me to pray for her or for him. And I have someone in the past that I really practice the active listening, pay, pay attention that the person said, and uh, if uh, after this I ask for the people, if for the person, how this problem was resolved, and how can I help him. Uh, and I did it for twice, 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 and I think that the relationship with this person changed, because when I ask 2 or 3 times about this problem that the people said, in other moments that I found this person in other places, this person, um, uh, how can I say, this person come to me to greetings, to praise, to uh, with a smile in the face, because I have a care to the person, and I think because this act that I did. I think that if you practice listen, will impact you and the other people that you 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 I don't know. I guess this is that.
Yeah, we don't quite stop to think the impact of really listening what the other people are saying. And we really don't know what's going on in a person's life. So it's really nice when we stop to talk with somebody and we see the person feeling comfortable enough to share a lot of things with you, that the person can trust you in a few minutes or in a few hours, even though you just met someone. So it's really nice. And Thiago, how does that make you feel when somebody come to you to talk and ask to pray for them? How do you feel about that?
I'm feel happy. I'm feel happy, but I feel confident, and with desire to do more actively. Like you said, if we practice this action in professional life, you will create a strong network. And one time that this person can remember that you do a good thing about her, or because you listen her or him. Uh, I think it's a good way to create a strong network.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing, Thiago. Brenner, what about you?
Question number 10. I got lost here, sorry.
Yeah, question number 10. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Um, Camila said something very interesting about politics and the work environment. I think this is the most important thing, but there is another underestimated thing in the work environment that is communication. Communicating clearly what you are doing, what time you're gonna spend in that task, um, listening, really listening to the needs of the company. All those things are very important, and I see a lot of people struggling with it, mainly in my area in technology, because there are a lot of developers that want to be only in front of the computer, coding, and you know, for them the communication seems to be in the second place. You know, it's not that important. So, in my opinion, people underestimate the power of communication in the work environment. So, and actively listening is part of it. So that's it.
Yeah, people underestimate it a lot. So in my previous job, the main problem that I have, it was a communication problem because I was one of the few people that work remotely, and most of them worked in the office in my city in Goiânia. And when I began to work remotely, I just stopped knowing everything that was going on because my team simply didn't communicate with me because I wasn't in person in the office every day, although I was online all the time in Teams. And it was really, really hard because they had so much work to do. They were very overwhelmed, and I have so much little to do. But they didn't pass me the test. They didn't send me the stuff to do. They just didn't call me. So my work hours, they were um, free most part of the day, and it made me in trouble because I asked them a lot, but only what I knew I could ask. But there are some things that I can't ask something that I don't know. Like if there is a specific problem and I don't know about the problem, I can't ask you so I can help you. I don't know what I have to do because I really don't know anything. So it was a massive problem because people simply didn't communicate. And I'm not there anymore. Thanks God, I was very happy about this. But there are some friends that still work there, and they tell me every day that communication there is something that they don't know how to do. Even in person, they don't communicate a lot, and it generates tons of problems. And there are things that they could be fixed very in a simple way, but they just become a bigger issue because people don't know how to communicate to each other and they don't listen each other. That's the main point. Camila was saying about managers that they want to be listened, and it's sometimes it's ego, but that's very important because when we really learn how to actively listen to our managers, to our chiefs, we understand how to talk to them. For example, if somebody sent me a task, I know by the person who is listening if I have to explain all the tasks, all the steps that I had, or just the result. Because it changes a lot how people deal with you when you know the other person profile of listener, of talker. So it's very important to listen and to learn, especially in the professional area, because it can makes you walk through the ladder of work that we have to do. It's very important. Let's see. Number 7, let's go, Brenner. Can you recall when somebody, I'm sorry, can you recall when someone made you feel truly heard? Like sometime you were talking to someone and you felt that, oh, that person is really listening to you. And what made that moment special?
Um, it happens sometime with my girlfriend when I am talking about football and she really doesn't care about it, but she's always there, listening, paying attention, making questions, and I find it so cute, and it's a simple thing, but it's special, so that's it.
Yeah, for me, that's the highest point of the relationship because just like you said, you like football and you know she doesn't. She doesn't like, but it doesn't matter if she doesn't like. She's engaging the conversation because she likes you a lot and she wants you to feel that you can talk to her about anything, even though she's not interested in the topic. She's interested in you. She's interested in making you feel special, in making you feel heard. And that's very, very nice and very important because in relationships in general, we tend to begin a relationship in people who has many things in common with us, but we are different people. We are very different in many aspects. So there are going to be a lot of topics that people don't have in common, but it's really nice when we can engage any type of conversation, even though you talked about football, or sometimes she can talk about something that she likes and you don't, maybe a book she's reading, maybe a series she's watching. It doesn't matter the subject in general, it matters the person who you're talking to. That's very nice. Camila, what about you?
Because when I was more young, it hurt a lot when it was happening. But now I agree, like Brenna said, I like to talk something very specific with my friend. And it's very nice if they engagement with this story. For example, it's very specific. This I watched a reality show in on YouTube. It's very no sense. It's about running bloggers, Corrida dos Blogueiros, the name in Portuguese. So my friend no watch that. So I talk about, oh, these competitors left and they're very sad, etc. And my friends say, oh, it's sad. What happened? And she tried to understand, and I guess it's so nice because sometimes I need to talk about that. I know it's a very random thing, but I really like this reality show. So I guess it's important we have this type of conversation and people have listened and it's a little bit kind of do that something like that. For example, my best friend like volley, so she talk a lot about the name of the people and I don't understand, but I still try to engagement because I know she loved that. But I guess it's so important to do that. But when I was kid, sometimes this not happened. And I guess I really so sad. But now it's okay. The people it have already that things in the mind because in my case the people have tired, don't have time for focus in the moment, so now I don't I try to understand what happening these type of things with me.
It's very nice to have friends to talk about random stuff, just like what you told us, because you told it yourself. People are so worried all the time about work, about house, about family, about money, about career, about so many important stuff. So it's nice to just relax and talk about some nonsense, talk about some reality show, talk about some YouTube video. It's nice to talk about something with your friends or with your girlfriend for no reason, just to make a good conversation flow without any specific topic, without any specific reason. It's nice to chill. Thiago, what about you?
Well, in this question, I think that I don't have anything to to talk because I don't pay attention in in these situations and I don't remember something about it.
Okay, that's okay. So I'm telling you guys one specific experience that I had is that when I was in that previous job, I was very unhappy because everything was so difficult to communicate at work, etc. And I have a friend that we talk a lot, and I would always tell what was going on at work. And sometime I stopped to realize that that friend of mine was remembering the name of the people that I told once. And he was asking about the people and how things changed at work, if I finished the task that I was doing. It was something that I told once or twice. I wasn't engaging this topic in the conversation anymore because that friend doesn't have anything to do with that work. But it was interesting that he sometimes brought that topic to ask to me what changed, what was going on, if that specific person that I was having problems, if things were okay, if we solved the problem. And that's very nice because sometimes we just want to complain and to talk, and okay, now I said everything that I wanted. I'm feeling a little lighter. That was just it for me. But then this friend of mine, he remembered stuff, he was asking, he was engaging in something that was making me feel very unhappy and anxious, but I wasn't talking about very much. And he always would ask for me things about work, and that was very nice for me because I felt that I was truly heard, because I wasn't bringing this topic all the time, but he knew it was something that it was bothering me, so he would brought it up and try to calm me down and say stuff. So that's one experience that I had that was very, very interesting. Um, let's do one more question, guys. Number 9, technology, Thiago. Do you think technology has made people better or worse listeners?
I think it depends the person that use the technology. And I think some people maybe will be better listeners, but I think the technology creates a little a little turtles to touch or to do something, and uh, the technology creates a worse listeners. I think that depends the person.
Yes, I mute.
Thanks, guys. So, Brenner, do you also think it depends? What do you think?
I disagree a little bit of Thiago. I think it it make us worse listeners. We have a lot of how can I say that word? We have a lot of information all the time around us, pushing and taking our attention. So really uh, stopping and listening to someone, having time to do it is difficult nowadays, you know. So I think it make us worse listeners.
Very nice. Camila, what are your thoughts about this?
Uh, I agree, like Brenna said, because now the point of capitalism in general, it's take we attention for them. So I guess in my case, it's so hard to me to focus in the present. So I need to do the some hacks in my life, put the phone in mute, close the navigators, these things for try to focus. And 3 months ago, I delete my Instagram for a while. Now I back, but I felt something changed, you know. I don't feel engagement in this social media anymore. So for me, I guess it's important to take a break of this a lot of information in your life and try to become more focused and things really important. For example, for me, it's really important to improve my English. It's really important to still in my learns about design. So, but it's so hard because sometimes it's so good to stop my day, watch a YouTube, for example. But I sometimes I try to not don't do that, but sometimes I guess it's important to take a time for rest and don't think anything. So I guess it's about you have a dose of use it, but it's hard because sometimes you need a dopamine, and it's a cycle, and I will try to break, but sometimes it's happening.
It's a cycle, that's it. So guys, I don't like to think technology as the main subject about anything because I don't think technology causes or makes us better or worse in anything. I always treat it like it's a tool and we need to learn how to use the best way for us. But I do understand that technology has brought us much more distractions, so it's easier for us to get distracted during a conversation because we have so many different distractions in a cell phone. We have so many different stuff to do in a cell phone. So it's tough that when we're feeling bored in a conversation, for example, it's very common, unfortunately, that somebody is talking and the other person is scrolling on the internet. It's common to happen that. But I do think that people that they are interested in the conversation, people who are really want to engage in a conversation with you and really want to be in that moment with you, the cell phone or anything else, it doesn't matter a lot when it's not something urgent calling you, but just like in normal days, it doesn't changes a lot. But I do believe that for people who doesn't want to engage the conversation, the cell phone and technology in general can be an escape for them to not pay attention. For me, that's it. Okay, so guys, we have 5 minutes to go. We don't have time to answer any more questions. I want to send you the survey link. I always like to remember, even though you already know. It's an anonymous survey. It's very important for you to rate and leave a comment about the immersion. Even I like a lot when you leave suggestions for what you want to talk about in the next immersion. And I want to thank you, Thiago, Camila, and Brenner, each one of you for being here tonight, even after a long day at work, a tiring day. And thanks for being here. I really hope to see you guys next week. Have a great end of the night and end of the week. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, guys.
Thank
Good
you,
evening.
Victoria.
See ya.
Good night. Bye.